All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? Excuse me. William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. Now, with the regular season and the NBA winding down, the Phoenix Suns, they've got their work cut out for them if they want to sit up here and be a playoff team. Okay. We're talking about a Suns team that is currently 35 and 42. Okay. And you look at the standings at the moment, Phoenix is 2 games behind Sacramento for that final spot in the play-in tournament in the West. And okay, like I said, we've got 5 games to go. And if you're the Suns, okay, and if you're a Suns fan, of course, this season began, with such high aspirations. You bring in a new head coach, Mike Budenholzer. You've got Kevin Durant, you've got Bradley Beal, you've got Devin Booker, and of course, the Suns were looking to put last year's first round exit behind them. That is clearly not the case. You look at this Suns team, first and foremost, they are going to finish with their first losing record since 2020. That is guaranteed at this point. And they are going to have to fight, scrap, and claw, and then some over these last 5 games in order to have a shot just at the play in. I talked about this a couple weeks ago, and I'll bring it up again. All right. The Suns have clearly been one of the biggest disappointments in NBA history. Okay. It's safe to say at this point that this is a failed big three with Brad Beal, Devin Booker, and Kevin Durant. And honestly, I'm not one to sit up there and be like, well, I told you so. But at the same time, I knew that this would not work, wouldn't happen. The styles of play of Brad Beal, KD, and Devin Booker are too similar. And if you're going to have a big three, everybody can't basically do the same thing. And you got 3 scorers. The Suns have needed a point guard. They don't have one. All right. And again, unfortunately for Kevin Durant, as great as he has been throughout his NBA career, this is another failed partnership for him. We saw it not work out with the Brooklyn Nets, with the likes of Kyrie Irving and James Harden. We know that KD is currently out with the ankle injury. He hasn't played since the beginning of this month, but nonetheless, you've got to wonder if KD has played his last game for the Suns. And the reason why I bring it up is this: Phoenix is already 2 games behind Sacramento with 5 games left. Okay, let's say the Suns keep on losing, which is a possibility. Why is KD going to rush back? And at the end of the day, you're seeing the writing on the wall. And I would truly think that this offseason, it would be best for the Suns and Kevin Durant to go in different directions. Just my opinion. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago, and I'll bring it up again. Phoenix is on their third different head coach in the last 3 years. And of course, Frank Vogel last year, NBA champion with the Lakers in 2020. Mike Budenholzer, NBA champion with the Milwaukee Bucks in 2021. And you can't have consistently have so much turnover at the head coaching position. And like I said before, I'll say it again. You can't simply just add water, stir, and mix and think you're going to get an NBA championship. Does not work like that. In my opinion, I just think it's time for the Suns to try to start over and rebuild because you think about the money that they have committed to Kevin Durant, Brad Beal, and Devin Booker. Right off the bat, we're talking about roughly $150 million committed to those 3 players for the next couple of years. All right. You think about the picks and the players that the Suns had to give up to get both Brad Beal and Kevin Durant. And like I said before, it's one of those where the Suns were 2 wins away from winning the NBA championship in 2021. And basically, at this point, the only guy that's still there for the most part is Devin Booker. They really just, destroyed that team, to go for a super team. I think the Suns should try to trade Kevin Durant over the summer. Clearly, it's going to be someplace where the superstar wants to play. But nonetheless, they've got to try to get some draft compensation back. They've got to try to get some players back, especially the draft compensation, because they've given up so many picks in recent years to try to make this work. And I think at this point, I would try to move on from Brad Beal. I think it's easier said than done to move KD's contract if you're the Suns than Brad Beal's contract, in my opinion. Granted, Brad Beal does have a player option for 2027, so we'd have to wait and see how that works out. But nonetheless, I think going forward, this team should try to build around Devin Booker. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, does Devin Booker want to be a part of a rebuild? Okay, so if that's the case, would the Suns have to start over completely? I'm just throwing it out there. All right. But nonetheless, I really do think it is time for Phoenix to start over, whether that's with Booker or whether it is, with a complete rebuild, because this has simply not worked. Okay. You look at it, and the Phoenix Suns are up there, in my opinion, when it comes to underachieving teams in NBA history. Okay. You could take it for what it's worth. They're just there. And you're looking at it, and I think the first question is going to be asked, or has to be answered, is where will Kevin Durant's NBA journey continue? I know some people are throwing out the Warriors. I don't think that's going to happen. I truly don't. Um, for me, I've said it for the last couple of years. I feel Kevin Durant needs to go back to OKC, make his career full circle there. The Thunder need themselves another proven finisher besides Shea Gilgis Alexander. And I think if you put KD, excuse me, back there, it would really enhance the Thunder's opportunity to win an NBA championship. And of course, who says that you can't go home? All right. That's just my thoughts on it. But at the end of the day, I truly do believe that it's time for the Phoenix Suns to pull the plug on this experiment. It has simply not worked. It is not going to work. And at this point, the Suns are not even going to get into the play in. And just for the sake of argument, if you believe in the tooth fairy and all of that other good stuff, and you think that the Phoenix Suns are going to get into the play-in tournament, let's just say for the sake of argument that they do. Okay. What can we really expect the Suns to do? They have not been a good defensive team all season long, and it has showed. Okay. You're not just going to flip on a switch and just become a good basketball team. I really think that this team has lacked a sense of urgency from the word go to begin this NBA campaign. Of course, you're bringing in a new coach. You have to, develop chemistry and a rapport with him. They have not gotten that yet. And I think the Suns, in my opinion, have attempted to belittle the 82 game regular season. I know that some people might sleepwalk through the regular season in order to get to the postseason, but at the end of the day, you still got to handle your business in the regular season in order to get to the postseason. And clearly, the Phoenix Suns have not done that. Like I said, I didn't expect it to work. I didn't expect it to be this bad, though. Okay. They got to the playoffs last year. They did win 49 games under Frank Vogel. And I think, this front office and, of course, team owner Matt Ishbia simply pushed the panic button once again and parted with Frank Vogel after year one. And I thought that was disgusting. I thought it was a slap in the face. And of course, the Suns right now are clearly paying for it. So at the end of the day, 5 games to go in this regular season, a 2 game deficit to Sacramento. At one time, that deficit was to Dallas, and everybody thought, well, with all of Dallas's issues, that the Suns were going to overtake them. Not so fast, as Dallas has been able to win a couple of games. They've gotten Anthony Davis back, and now it's Phoenix looking up at Sacramento. And I know that there are some teams that are sliding in the Western Conference, a la Memphis Grizzlies, but nonetheless, it's too little, too late for the Phoenix Suns. They, I think, at this point would have to basically win at least 4 out of their last 5 to go out there and really get a spot in the play and get that final spot. You're talking about the Suns being at the Knicks tomorrow. They're getting Jalen Brunson back. They're trying to find their playoff groove. They host Golden State this Tuesday night, and the Warriors are probably playing some of the best ball in the NBA right now. And then on Wednesday night, we're talking about a Phoenix team that hosts Oklahoma City. And of course, at this point, the Thunder have wrapped up home court advantage in the Western Conference. The Charlie probably not probably they are going for home court advantage throughout the entire NBA playoffs. And then the final two games, home for San Antonio and then on the road for Sacramento. And I know theoretically that would be nice to have a winner go home game right there between the Suns and the Kings. But I truly do feel that when that game does come around on the slate, that the Kings are going to be resting their starters because they're going to be getting ready for the play-in tournament, and the Phoenix Suns are going to get ready to clean out their lockers. So, nonetheless, a disappointing season for the Suns is about to end. No playoffs, and not even a play-in tournament bid to show for it, as they have clearly been one of the most disappointing teams this year in the National Basketball Association. But, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. And I want to take this time out to thank all of you for tuning in. And if you like what you heard and what you saw on this podcast, please feel free to hit that like button and subscribe to this channel. It is much appreciated. Also, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365, and you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So, once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.